Hello, welcome to another YouTube video. This is based on Project 3 for the Programming for Game Engines class. For this project, we focused on enemy AI as well as a Navmesh and making them navigate. So the requirements here were for enemies to be able to navigate using root motion. Designers should be able to change enemy movement speed in the inspector. Enemies should be able to use weapons as well as chase and shoot the player. And the enemy should spawn in the scene over time and ragdoll when killed. So the only thing that I didn't get done was the ragdoll. I couldn't figure it out. I know you can make ragdolls using the ragdoll wizard, but getting the character actually transferred to that ragdoll, I could not get working as well. The ragdoll script that was provided in the files for the class just did not work. So I apologize for that. I missed that requirement. But for everything else, if I spawn in here, there's actually a couple of enemies that will be chasing me around. When they get within a certain distance of me, they'll actually slow down and start shooting at me. As well, they will actually chase me all around the map, up these ramps and around the edges. The Navmesh covers the entire map, so as I walk around it, they should be following me, and then they can also drop down off the edges and things like that. I've also made myself invincible for the purpose of this because they are a little bit OP right now. But if I wait right here, they actually can't jump up these, so they'll go all the way over there and up that ramp. Actually, they're shooting themselves. I suppose I probably should have checked for that. You don't want them to shoot themselves. I'll make sure that gets fixed. I don't think I ever saw it before because they're constantly facing me. But if they are running away and still within shooting distance, they will shoot themselves like that. If they happen to be facing the wrong way because of the Navmesh. Yeah. So I'll make sure that that can't happen anymore. Because they are killing themselves like crazy. But they are able to navigate the entire map. They can get all over to me. If I drop down, they will also do that. They don't have animations set up to do that. So they just basically just drop down. And that's basically all of what I got for this sprint. This project, not sprint. Let's see. Their movement speed is actually changeable as well. So if I go into the prefab for them, you can set both a slow speed and a max speed. So their max speed is what they run at, and their slow speed is what they walk when they walk to try to shoot you. They'll actually slow down and walk at that speed. One of the other things that I did for this project was I added an aim down sights. So if I actually right click, it'll actually make me slow down, as well as get a slight zoom in with the camera. It's kind of hard because the mouse will not go into the actual game. So okay, there we go. If I right click, and so if I pull out a weapon and I right click, that'll help me actually be more accurate with it compared to when I'm just walking around and the character animations sort of make it wobble around. If I stand still, it's pretty accurate, but if I'm moving, it's pretty not accurate. And if I'm sprinting, the gun won't even point forward. So it's just sort of further polishing of the third-person shooter mechanics, making it so that you can right-click and aim down sights and get a more accurate shot. I don't think I've changed anything with the UI during this, but yeah, the UI is still there and still functioning for everything. These also have their own health UI as well. So let's see. So the Navmesh, if I go on over to the map right here, and I click on navigation, you can see that they've got quite a far drop distance. This is basically because with the idea of having rocket jumping, I kind of wanted it to be a little more vertical, but they don't really have the capability to get up there, so I built these ramps so that if they want to climb up, they can just use the ramps and get around the stage. But there's really not much going on up there. If I were to put some power-ups and stuff like that, that'd be a good thing to do as well. And if I go into the code, there's really not much new to show. I have an enemy script, which I can basically put on any pawn, and it'll take control of the pawn. You can control things like the range that they'll start attacking the player, the speed that they run at, everything like that. And basically, they'll just use the Navmesh, which is attached to the bot, and they'll just find the target for the player, navigate towards it, and the speed will be modified based on either if they're close enough to be in walking distance, then they'll start walking and try to shoot at it, and the shooting is basically just based on this random chance right here, and then also stopping shoot, so they'll fire in random bursts. It ends up looking pretty good, although they are very strong right now. We also have an enemy spawner, which at the moment is just a quick respawn, just like his respawns them. This is the ragdoll controls that didn't make it through. That was the script that was in the shell. And that's essentially it. I did have to change the align rotation, which previously just aligned guns with the camera, but I realized that you needed to actually align that with whatever, so I made it take an argument instead so that you can actually put in the rotation that you want it to face, so that the enemies can have the guns actually face the player. And I think that's about it. What I'm going to work on for Project 4 is a win condition, making sure that everything gets cleaned up, as well as having menus. And then I'm also going to make sure that things like bullets won't shoot your own character, because there's actually a problem with you can shoot yourself in the leg with rockets. The AIs can shoot themselves with bullets, so I'll make sure all of that gets fixed. As well, I'm going to have a win condition and a main menu. Alright.